Download the Radio Cayman app now on your Android or iOS phone.
The Radio Cayman app
is where you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere you go.
Everywhere we go, we go. Everywhere we go, we go.
Find it in the Google Store, the Apple Store, or use the link at www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Yes, now you can listen to Radio Cayman everywhere.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. MedLab in Smith Road Plaza, your complete medical laboratory solution. Call 949-7331. West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health. And RF Group, money at work.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you. For the Record. Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the Record.
For the Record. The Record. Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is October the 8th, 2021, right here in the Cayman Islands. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable evening. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, we urge you, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle, please, 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 ensure you observe the rules of the road. Remember, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you celebrated one over the past few days, a belated happy birthday as well. Those of you who unfortunately have lost loved ones, again, we want to express our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. Those of you who are not feeling well, either at home or at a government or a medical facility, I should say, at a medical facility, we wish you a speedy recovery. For those of you who are in quarantine, either as a traveler or as a close contact to someone who has tested positive. Again, we hope that everything goes well with you and that you will be able to deal with the period of time that you have to remain in quarantine as well. I'm told by many that it is not something that is pleasant, but at this point in time, it is something that is also necessary if we are to try to keep our island as free from COVID-19 as we possibly can. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. The radio voice of Silver Fox, Mr. Paul Akal, waiting to take your calls. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flow. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at fortherecord, one word, fortherecord at candw.ky. WhatsApp us, 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show And of course, you can just watch us, and you do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. My pleasure to have in the studio with me again this morning none other than the esteemed Dr. Steve McField. Doc, good morning, sir. Welcome back.
Good morning to you, Mr. For the Record, and good morning to all your listeners in For the Record land, and all of those in the Cayman diaspora, and all of those other people who listen to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Good morning to all those people, and good morning to you again, sir.
Okay. And how have things been with you?
Oh, I have been very busy these last weeks. I'm getting ready for my new role.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I'm getting ready for that. I'm preparing for that. I'm getting rid of some of the fat that I don't need, some of the things that I don't need to carry with me, some of the burdens that I don't need to carry with me, so that in my new position I will be able to administer justice and to make the right decisions without having to look behind. Again.
Okay. Now, I remember when I was over at the Immigration Department, there were board chairpersons who actually set aside time. They didn't have a fixed office, but they would the staff there would reserve some place for them to be able to meet with the public if persons had concerns and stuff like that. Do you plan on doing that as well as chairing the board meetings to make yourself available and accessible to persons who may have questions or concerns?
Yes, I plan to do that, and that's the reason why I say that I am getting rid of some of the fat.
Okay.
So that I will have a lean immigration action body, so that I will be available to people at reasonable hours of the day, and reasonable hours of the weekend if they want to ask me questions or to get a handle on what they think is going on and what they have a right to know.
Yeah. And for those who think or may think that this is something that is financially rewarding, I'd like you to explain to the our listening audience the fact that you will have to give up some clients as a result of the fact that you may be conflicted as a board chair and as a lawyer who also deals with immigration matters, that you will now have to pass those clients on to someone else. So people need to realize, as far from a financial standpoint, you're making sacrifices for your country.
Yeah, it's from a financial. It's not devastating, but from a financial standpoint, it means that I will have to give up a lucrative part of my practice, because people come to me because I get results, and
get them fast.
And get them fast too. Yes.
Even if you got to make a little noise.
Yes, that's right, exactly. And even before this show began, I got a call on my telephone. Somebody called me who was an old client, and I had to say, I can't talk to you. I have to refer you to somebody else. You're going to have to get another provider. Immigration service provider to deal with the matters, and in fact I am sending letters out to most of the people that I had as clients to let them know that of the new position I'm in, and that it would be a conflict of interest if I continue to deal with them, or if I continue to push their cases in court, on appeal and so forth.
Excellent. Okay.
But of course, nothing in Cayman, especially people like me, comes easy. I have already been attacked by a whole group of people.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Attacked by a whole group of people. On the what's it called, on the anonymous blogs, the anonymous comments on the media. But of course, you know me quite well, and you know that I am not. I don't pay attention to mediocre people who hide behind media curtains to attack me. If they want to attack me, they can come out into the public and they can do so. I can hold my own anywhere in the world with anyone, and so forth. And they even have gone so far as to say that the government should never have put me in a position where I could have a decision to decide who stays and who goes in Cayman Islands. That's what people have written. But
and you have to just ignore.
Oh, definitely.
Yes,
definitely. Because I want to know whether or not the Caymanians have the power to cement the health of their country, and whether Caymanians are being sidelined in favor of profits and aggressive narrow sectorial interests. That's what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in what people say, because if I had been interested in what people say, I wouldn't be where I am today, because I think that a whole host of them could never walk in my shoe and got to where I came from on their own, like I have done in life, internationally and locally.
You have overcome many odds and obstacles, to get where you are today. Yes.
So I am looking forward to serve the government and to serve the Caymanian people, and I'm sure that I would like to serve them well.
And while some may talk about it, the majority of people in the Cayman Islands will be thankful for the service that you will render as well. What people fail to realize at times is that while you may have your personal views and opinions in relation to something, when you are serving in a capacity where the expectation and the requirement is for you to be unbiased,
That's right.
Be fair. And to me, I'm not sure that anyone better than a person who is in the legal fraternity understands that concept of being balanced and being fair.
Oh yes, and you know, I have been on many boards since I came back to the island. I've been on many boards. The last boards I were on, I was deputy chairman of the Roads Authority Board, and I was deputy chairman of the Airport Authority Board, and we applied the rules according to the law that they gave us to work with, and that is what we apply. I'm not interested in personalities. I'm not interested in people who have their sectoral interests. That doesn't bother me at all.
Excellent. I believe we have a caller already. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you.
Okay. What do you have to tell us this morning?
Well, I don't know if I'm registering a complaint or even giving you my personal opinion, but here's my situation.
Well, you can do both. Register the complaint and give us your opinion, and hopefully, as far as the complaint is concerned, someone is listening who may know something about it, or will certainly respond one way or the other as well. Go right ahead.
That's good. Well, first off, I'm going to give you a little background. I'm a born and bred Caymanian. The majority of my family still resides in the Cayman Islands. I decided to come to Cayman back in July. I needed to come to take care of some business, and also my aunt was ill, and I wanted to see her, and of course to visit my family. I thought I did everything I was supposed to do to enter the country. I got my shots. I got the PCR test. Applied for the travel Cayman to get into the country. Was approved. However, when I got at the airport, I was told that my vaccination card was invalid, was not acceptable by the Cayman Islands, and the reason being because it did not have a QR code. All right?
Okay.
Now, in the state of Florida, QR codes are not given to anyone. Okay, so I also had backup. I brought a letter from my doctor, well, it's a printout from my doctor, outlining my vaccine, my date of birth, what kind of vaccine it was, how much, blah, 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 blah. I also went on, my doctor went online. It's a secured line. It's called Florida State Health Online Tracking System. that tracks all the vaccinations that people have in the state of Florida. I also produced a copy of that has all the information. But somehow or another, it was not recognized as anything that would be valid to permit me to get a reduced quarantine.
Okay, and your quarantine period now is how long?
Now it's 10 days.
10 days, okay.
And it was supposed to be 7. I was traveling with someone else, and they got approved for 7 days. However, because we traveled together, they now have to suffer the consequences of staying with me for 10 days.
Okay, and why? Can you tell us that person who would have been required to quarantine for 7 days? How different was their circumstance from yours?
Well, they got vaccinated in the Cayman Islands.
Okay,
That's the difference.
Yeah.
So you have a valid record.
Mm-hmm.
And that could have been verified. You see?
Yeah.
Well, I would imagine that mine could have been verified. Somebody could have picked up the phone and called somebody, or went online, or in the process of developing the procedures, there should have been caveats for anomalies, which I thought I was an anomaly, to go some other technological solution in order to obtain the necessary information.
Okay. Unfortunately, I don't think that we have reached that stage yet. So what the government basically has said here, that if it has to be a QR code.
That's right.
That is verifiable. Now, I don't know why Florida doesn't issue a QR code, whether or not it has anything to do with the policies of the governor there, who we know is not a really pro-vaccine person, per se, and doing as much as he possibly can to make things difficult. But so we're at this point in time to the stage where we can, if there's a QR code, I believe that we can verify it. But I'm not sure that we're in a position now where we can go that extra mile, make a phone call, look at what you have and determine that. And of course, while, the risks may not be as great, for persons traveling from Florida, even though we have seen in the United States where persons are producing fake documentation to be able to enter certain places and stuff like that. And we're not saying that this is the case with you, but here in Cayman, we have to be a little bit more careful, as well with that. But it is hoped that at some point in time there can be, some more flexibility, in terms of what we do.
Well, I'm sure that you're going to get a lot of people, not only from Florida, because I know that there are other states that do not participate in this QR code. Okay? So once you open up for tourism and people are aware that you only require a QR code, they're going to be upset and maybe think twice about coming to the island.
Okay, but which one you think is more important? The safety of the people in the Cayman Islands or the tourism industry?
It's not even about the safety. It sounds like it's about fraudulent activities. The reason you want this verified is because you just stated that you don't want fraud, people.
Well, we could put that in another way. Yeah. We could say the reason we want to be able to ensure that we can verify that the person has been vaccinated.
And the reason why we do that, ma'am, is because we have the right to the highest attainable level of health in our country, and that is the reason why we are so cautious about that. And if we open the flood doors to that and just accept anybody who gives us a card from anywhere without us being able to verify it, we will not attain the highest level of health.
Granted, that's granted. A card that you can't verify. What about something else that you can verify, which is what I'm saying. My position was I had 3 pieces of document that said the same thing. Now, can I fraudulently make up 3 pieces of document, one which came from the state of Florida? And you're saying, yes, Florida. When you go to Florida, they don't even ask you for.
Oh, that's Florida.
Yeah.
And Cayman is different from Florida.
And a much larger population. We have a population
too.
of about 70,000 people,
Yes,
so they say 71,000. That it's a little bit more tricky in terms of protecting. But caller, we have to go to a commercial break. I'm going to ask you to leave us there, but I know who you are, and I'm going to ask you to call back after the 8 o'clock news, because we want to continue this conversation with you because it is extremely important. Can you do that for us?
I surely can.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Maxine Goulburn, Certificate of Honor, 1924-2001. Maxine Goulburn was the fourth child of Edred and Fenbean Banks. She was baptized in 1935 and, at the age of 11, became a member of the Georgetown Seventh-day Adventist Church. After completing her primary education at Georgetown Primary School, she matriculated at Kingsway Academy High School in Jamaica and completed her studies at Northeastern Academy in New York. In 1963, she graduated from New York International College of Business with an associate degree in business administration. The following year, she was hired as secretary/treasurer of the West Indies Union Conference of Seventh-day Adventists, continuing in that position until 1977. In 1977, she was appointed executive secretary, a position she held until her retirement in 1990. Maxine married Lee Goulburn in the early 1970s, and they adopted a daughter, Latanya. The Cayman Islands Conference has honored her memory with the building of the Maxine Goulburn Youth and Community Center in Newlands.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
We are island people. We know that hurricane season means preparation now, ahead of time, being ready ahead of the fury of nature we cannot control. Preparation that can make the difference between life and death, injury and safety, the misery of loss, the regret of procrastination. Know this now. Hurricane safety begins with you. It's your responsibility and mine. Your medicine, your valuable documents, your water, your place of safety during the storm. Your preparation now will directly determine your outcome during and after the storm. Prepare now. A message from Rotary Central. We serve to change lives.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed.
That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
System 1 loaded. 1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It's going to be about 3 or 4 minutes and we're going straight back to our 8 o'clock news, and we still have a caller on hold. I will take that caller. But very quickly, I also want to say that Mr. Frank Conley of East End is 94 years old today, and we want to wish him a happy birthday from all of his family and friends and from all of us here at Radio Cayman as well. Mr. Frank, happy birthday. Happy 94th birthday. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Our apologies, for having you hold so long.
No problem. Good morning, distinguished gentlemen. Billy Simamba here.
Morning, Billy.
I was just listening to the little bit there where you talked about the appointment of Dr. Steve to these two very, very important boards.
Yes.
I mean, it's very, very significant that you see that the two boards are some of the most important actually in the islands, and to give them to one individual and say, look, here it is, we want you to be able to do this job for us. I think it's a very, very significant thing, and I think it is noteworthy. And it reminds me, how Martin Luther King in the U.S. at one point, a lot of people don't remember that he was the most unpopular person for the demonstrations they used to do in the civil rights movement. And yet, in years later, because people knew that he was always right, in the years that followed, he became the person around which the nation could unite, both people on the right and on the left, when they wanted to talk about unity in the nation. So things do change. It's just that I wish that we could get there without, first of all, sidelining people. But I suppose that's life. Now, talking about sidelining people and about tough life and so on, from time to time you've been kind enough to allow me to air a little bit of my rant about the case which I brought against a judge, which was later on heard by another judge.
I need to warn you, though, we only have about a minute, so if you don't finish, you're welcome to call us back later.
Okay, let me try to finish.
Sure.
Basically, I haven't got the judgment in that case. It is now more than 10 weeks since the draft judgment was ready. And that, of course, is out of the ordinary. I just want to ask Dr. Steve, what do I do in a case like this one? The government, in a nutshell, the judge doesn't want to give me a judgment. I've complained to the governor, to the chief justice, to everybody, but they don't want to give me the judgment. What do I do in a case like that one? Let me just leave it there and see if you can answer the question for me. I'm sorry to put him on the spot, but I'm desperate. Thank you very much.
No problem. Continue to listen, Billy, because I'll have Dr. McField respond to that when we return from the 8 o'clock news. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
When you're on the go, the experienced team at Foster's Pharmacy are here to help. Drop off your prescription while you shop or WhatsApp us and we'll prepare it, ready for your arrival.
Whether you need prescription or over-the-counter medications, blood glucose testing, or advice on vitamins and supplements, we're here early in the morning to late at night. Both of our locations at our Camana Bay and airport stores are open 7 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday to Saturday.
For more info, visit fosters.ky/pharmacy. Foster's Pharmacy. Better health because we care.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 31st of December 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
With your latest news, I'm Carsley Fuller. The Premier calls on employers to do their part in helping the government safely reopen borders while managing COVID-19. Radio Cayman's April Cummings has more.
In a recap of the Premier's recent comments on the pandemic in Parliament, the Honourable Wayne Panton said employers will have to do their part if we are to safely control COVID and management. He says we can't have employees feeling as though they have to choose between their job and their health or that of their children. Mr. Panton added, while we look to make practical adjustments to quarantine periods for those who are vaccinated, we, quote, can't allow COVID-positive employees to simply go to work without isolation. He said it's not safe, healthy, nor wise. Mr. Panton says government needs balance as it strives to safely and responsibly reopen the country to vaccinated travelers without an isolation period, at the same time minimizing the number of COVID-19 hospitalizations. The Premier says government will shortly roll out a cabinet-approved plan that provides predictability, accountability, and transparency that can be shared with everyone. April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
As to specifically when the borders will reopen, Mr. Panton says it's impossible for government to randomly pick a date for full reopening of the border because the decision needs to be made based on science, but assured the public that residents and businesses in Cayman will be given at least a month's notice before fully opening the gates to Cayman's borders. In other news, His Excellency the Governor Martin Roper and Health Minister the Honourable Sabrina Turner helped to open this year's Cayman Islands Healthcare Conference Thursday night.
Community spread over the past few weeks has pierced holes in the incredibly safe bubble in which we have been living for the past 18 months. The stress and anxiety that has resulted in is understandable, but I continue to urge the community to remain calm and take much comfort in the fact that Cayman's vaccination rates, one of the highest rates anywhere in the world, give us a lot of protection. It is important that we seek to get these rates even higher.
Health City Cayman Islands Clinical Director Dr. Benoit Chatham-Parambil also spoke at the opening, urging for a shift as the country moves into the next stage of its COVID experience.
The theme of the conference is Breathe Easier. Over the coming days, we have the opportunity to reflect on and share the lessons learned from the ways in which we have responded to COVID-19 in our homes, in our institutions, and across the healthcare sector. But more importantly, if we are to breathe easier, we must move forward collaboratively and collectively and look at the tools, resources, and roadmaps we need for our country to bounce back and emerge stronger than before.
Due to COVID-19 crowd limits, the event is by invitation only. However, it is being broadcast live on the CIGTV YouTube channel and on television. The conference continues through Saturday. In regional news, the Jamaican government is hoping to vaccinate 1 million Jamaicans against COVID-19 by the end of November. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says, quote, that is not impossible and not necessarily a difficult task. He says it just requires greater focus, and so the government will be redoubling its efforts throughout the country. The declaration was made at the Mocho Health Center, one of several stops during a vaccine mobilization and public education tour in northern Clarendon. Approximately 60,000 doses of the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine expired on September 30th in Jamaica and will have to be thrown away. Another 200,000 with an October 31st expiry date hang in the balance. The Prime Minister said preventing vaccine wastage is a civic responsibility. The U.S. Senate has voted to temporarily raise the nation's debt limit, avoiding a historic default that experts say would have devastated the economy. Senators agreed to increase the limit by $480 billion, which will cover the U.S. until early December. The bill was approved by a 50-48 vote following weeks of partisan fighting. The breakthrough came less than 2 weeks before the U.S. was set to be unable to borrow money or pay off loans for the first time ever. And a suicide bomber has targeted a mosque in the northern Afghan city of Kunduz during Friday prayers, killing at least 50 people. Images on social media showed bodies and debris inside the mosque used by the minority Shia Muslim community. No group yet has claimed responsibility for the attack. Sunni Muslim extremists, including the local Islamic State group, have targeted the Shia community because they consider them to be heretics. That's your latest news. I'm Karsley Fuller.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th of April, 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 10.5% and 43.2%. And our all-in expense ratio for year ended 30th of June, 2020 is currently the lowest it's ever been. 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Are you interested in learning more about providing great service during COVID-19? The Cayman Islands Department of Tourism invites you to sign up for a free training course, Aquila Service Excellence COVID-19 Edition. This free training will provide guidance on how to interact with customers while adhering to COVID-19 protocols. Sessions will be held every Wednesday in October. For more information and to register, head to aquila.ourcayman.ky. That's aquila.ourcayman.ky. Deadline to register is the Monday before each session.
The Department of Commerce and Investment is asking clients to use their online services at www.dci.gov.ky for trade and business amendments, grant and renewal applications, and more. While the DCI counters remain open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, you can stay safe, avoid the line, and save time by applying online for business services at dci.gov.ky. For questions about the DCI's online service or other licensing enforcement or regulatory matters, please email info@dci.gov.ky.
Did you know that once properly sanitized, some tinned food items may still be safe for consumption after coming in contact with floodwater? In order to properly sanitize these tins, always remove labels, and then wash tins in a strong detergent solution using a brush to get rid of excess impurities. Tins must then be immersed in a solution made of 2 tablespoons of chlorine bleach per gallon of water for 10 minutes. ensure that containers are air dried before opening. For more post-hurricane food safety tips, visit the DEH website at deh.gov.ky.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we are more than an insurance company. We are family. To learn more about our first-in-class individual and group life, disability and accident solutions, please visit Pan American International Insurance Corporation at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304 and visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
The 8:10 a.m. Weather Report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
For over 100 years, more than 5.8 million people across the Americas and the Caribbean have placed their trust in Pan American Life Insurance Group. We have delivered on our promise and have proven that we're more than just an insurance company, we're family. To learn more about our first-in-class group health and employee benefit solutions, please visit Pan American Life Insurance Company of the Cayman Islands at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, Grand Cayman, or contact us at 949-8304. You can also visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
Radio Cayman's Cayman Strong series was brought to you by OnCourse Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. OnCourse Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
Achieving your goals is a very rewarding feeling, but at times can feel very frustrating, especially if and when we miss our target. As you approach your goals in life, set yourself up for success.
When setting your goals, celebrate your progress.
It's important to acknowledge progress each step of the way as you achieve your goals. Everything that you do to move in that direction gets you a little closer. Planning small rewards along the way can help to keep things interesting and give us a taste of what sweet success will be like.
Change your thinking and change your life.
During these unprecedented times, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Cayman Strong Series. The Cayman Strong Series is brought to you by On-Course Cayman. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
These days, feelings of loneliness, anxiety, stress, and depression can be overwhelming. Just know you are not alone. On-Course Cayman offers private mental health services for children, teens, adults, and groups. Visit oncourse.ky to view a full list of wellness services and their qualified team. On-Course Cayman, health, wellness, and happiness.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office. Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
The 2021 census begins on the 10th of October. Every person in the Cayman Islands will be counted. The population count and data are protected and authorized by the Statistics Act. The information is confidential and cannot be shared with any law enforcement agency. Every person counts, no matter who you are or where you live. So have your say in the 2021 census.
2021 census. Everyone counts.
You can now renew your driver's license or motor vehicle license online. And you don't need an ESID number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit www.dvdl.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Dr. Steve Macfield. We have two callers on hold. Before we go to those callers, I just want to give you an update in terms of traveling into the Cayman Islands and what the situation is. entry into the Cayman Islands, and this is says airports in the Cayman Islands are now open to flights. However, there are few scheduled inbound and outbound international passenger flights. British Airways now offer regular flights to the UK via the Bahamas, and Cayman Airways offers a service to the US, Jamaica, and Honduras. Only people who have been pre-authorized may enter the Cayman Islands at this time. All travelers must apply to travel using the Travel Cayman portal. All those who are 5 years old and above must take a pre-arrival PCR test. Vaccinated travelers, Caymanians, residents, and work permit holders, and those with close ties to the Cayman Islands, such as a child of a Caymanian, are able to travel to the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands are currently not open to unvaccinated tourists and cruise ship tourism. All travelers are subject to mandatory quarantine upon arrival in the Cayman Islands. Those who are fully vaccinated and can verify their vaccination status must quarantine for 7 days. Those who are vaccinated but who cannot verify their vaccination status must quarantine for 10 days. Unvaccinated travelers must quarantine for 14 days. Travelers may quarantine in a government facility, pre-approved residence, quarantine facility, or a hotel or other tourist accommodation. All travelers must receive a negative PCR test to leave the quarantine. And goes on to say, we recommend that you consult the Cayman Islands government website for further information before traveling, as well. Okay, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes. It's the same caller before.
Yes, good morning again. Good morning again.
Good morning.
I know some people are going to complain about us, giving you a little bit more airtime than I normally do, but I have my reasons for that. True born and bred Caymanian who's here visiting, and we encourage you, if you don't listen to us when you're in Florida, that you will do so from here on as well.
I always listen to you guys.
Thank you.
And I go on the computer and look at the compass every morning.
Thank you. Great.
So I support Cayman, and
yes.
I love Cayman. I mean, that's not my problem. You just said what I did.
Yes.
Okay? I went through Travel Cayman. The only thing they asked me for was my passport number, I think. They granted me permission to come to the country. My problem is nowhere, no how did anyone say I needed a QR code. Okay? There's no place on your website that I can see. It just says verifiable. A secured verification.
And they didn't go on to explain what that meant, yes.
They did not tell me what it was until I arrived here. Okay? Now, I need to also let you know that in July, okay, I sent a physical, well, not physical, a computerized copy of my card from the CDC. And I got a response from the Travel Cayman, and they said they didn't say that I needed a QR code on my card. They said that it looks like I would have no problem entering the Cayman Islands, and they didn't say although.
Yes, they didn't add the other part, but yes.
You did not have the caveat.
You don't have a QR code. So I don't mind if they had told me I needed a QR code and I know I couldn't get a QR code, then I would be happy. I'll stay 10 days and not be adamant about it. However, I was not given that opportunity.
Yeah. Communication is the key.
I want to come or I don't want to come. I might have decided not to come to the island, under those circumstances, to stay an extra. You say, it's only 3 days. in a person's life, 3 days is a long time.
Yep. Yes.
So that's it. If they need these things, I think one, you need to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of roundabout. Technological solutions. What's a technological solution for someone that's not technically savvy?
Yes.
They don't know what that means. I'm 75 years old, okay? Mm. And I know what technology does, and I've been in the field for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm astute to that. However, there may be people traveling that don't even have a cell phone. So how are they going to produce this?
Yes.
They may not have access to a computer. So someplace in writing, when you apply, they need to tell you specifically, this is what we need, and there's no ifs, ands, or
buts. Yeah. Good point. Caller, what I'm going to share with you later on as well is the Premier's presentation to the Parliament in terms of what the government will be doing about reopening as well, and hopefully that will, give some assurance as well as an explanation. But there is no excuse whatsoever for not having clear and concise instructions in simple, plain language that everyone can understand, that leaves no doubt whatsoever. And I, agree with you 100% on that.
Well, that's my main problem.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you.
Let me be aware.
Yes.
So for the next people that come on the line.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and enjoy your stay. I hope I get an opportunity to see you. If I don't, it was great talking to you on both occasions as well.
Make it your business to see me, okay?
I will. Okay.
All right.
Take care. All the best. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. O.C.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
And Mr. Dr. Steve.
Good morning, sir.
And everyone else. I'm wondering if I can speak on a certain subject on hard work, etc.
Go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
I have been saying to myself, can you imagine how hard I had to work, even being asked to dig graves, and working on my shifts for so many years, and someone would try to ask me for my last dollar, say that they don't think I should have it. It's no good to me. They should have my last dollar. So I'm wondering, what kind of belief is that to try to get my last dollar?
You think that they knew that was your last dollar?
Yeah.
That's what I told him.
You told him that was your last one.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. So I had to work so hard. I had to work among all kinds of people all by myself in the night for a long time, way over 10 years.
Wow.
On a shift like that, can you imagine how hard I have worked? And they want to take my last dollar. All the people that I met that were so nice to me, and but if they want to try to take my last dollar, I don't know where they'll find it, but they're gonna have to dig in my pocket.
Are your pockets deep?
Well, it is as deep as I would like it to be.
Deep and empty, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Okay, well,
all right. Okay.
Thank you very much. Take care and continue to work hard, but hold on to that last dollar.
Yes.
Folks, we're going to take
sir,
Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I'm going to ask Dr. Steve Macfield to read this press release. Premier outlines priorities to safe reopening of our borders. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed. That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab. Blood test, x-ray, and mammogram, all of that is MedLab. Affordable fees and friendly service, a full professional team. MedLab is always comfortable, MedLab is always clean. For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Call 949-7331 and ask about MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamt Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vamt Motors, Walkers Road.
COVID-19 vaccines are the only way forward in reopening our borders safely. Take the COVID-19 vaccine to protect yourself and the ones you love, especially those of us who cannot get vaccinated. For more information on the COVID-19 vaccine, visit www.gov.ky/coronavirus.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the record.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Dr. Steve Macfield. Doc, I'm going to ask you to read that release, but also I know you want to say a few words about Mr. Frank Conley and celebrating
Oh, yes,
his 94th
Mr.
birthday
Frank
today.
Conley. A good happy birthday, Mr. Frank Conley, from Steve Macfield, your good old friend. And to my good old friend, Mr. Frank Conley, you know, was one of the first Caymanians to be a full manager of a hotel. And I know that, and I respect that, and I was a friend with him a long time. I haven't seen him for a long time because I don't think he comes to town anymore now. Or if he does, I haven't seen him for ages now. But good, happy birthday, Mr. Frank. You come a long way, and you prove that Caymanians can do the job as well as anybody else. And I really appreciate you, and I would like to see you again. And in fact, this weekend I'm going to come to visit you up in Gon Bay.
Okay.
And to visit you and to have us sit down with you, because I would like to record some of the things that you know that you will not, that you are going to have to take with you when you go, and I would like to record them so that we can keep them for prosperity.
Yes. Okay. So Doc, what did the Premier tell us?
I'm just trying to find it here again.
You have it?
Yes.
Okay.
This is a press release from the Premier's office dated the 8th of October 2021. And it's for immediate release, and it says, Premier outlines priorities to safe reopening of border. Grand Cayman, Cayman Islands. Cayman is learning to live with the COVID and taking the lessons learned from unexpected community spread to pave the way forward to safely reopen its borders and remain open in a responsible way. Premier Honorable J. V. Panton assured the country in his debate on 2 bills in Parliament this week that the PAC government is working to ensure that the Caymanian people and residents can count on solid planning and safety measures once the border is fully reopened to vaccinated travelers. And he quotes, "Our vision is to get the country up to a point where we can continue our reopening program and remain open in a responsible way, not just trying to stay open, not just fighting against the odds to stay open, but doing it in a safe way where people are not suffering to any large extent," Mr. Panton said. He said the community spread that began in Northside in early September and that again popped up at Georgetown Primary School was a learning curve that identified areas where additional resources are needed and highlighted that there are parts of the government's reopening plan that needs to be filled in, articulated, tested, and communicated to the wider community. And then he got, quote, "We are willing to work together to itemize the lessons learned and incorporate the findings into an updated reopening plan, which is designed to further enhance the country's readiness and response capabilities," Mr. Panton said. "The reality is that we do have community transmission now, and that has forced us to rethink many of our approaches." He said the rethinking will involve everyone. So now the government, the public service, the business community, our children, our citizens and residents of Cayman have to join together in taking the first collective steps of reimagining and then living our lives in a way that allows us to safely travel and to participate in daily activities, he said. To have our children continue to receive in-class learning, and yes, to welcome visitors to our shores so that essential part of our community can be revitalized. The key to getting that balance right, Mr. Panton said, is to ensure that government safely keeps businesses and activities open while not overwhelming the healthcare system. One of the tools that will help is lateral flow testing for fast identification of positive cases. These specific tests play an integral role in the government's overall management strategy by empowering people to proactively stay aware of their COVID-19 status by self-testing while reducing the need to attend a healthcare facility for initial testing. The tests have been ordered and are expected on island in the coming weeks. Many of these tests can be self-administered and have the potential to eliminate the challenges presently faced by employers, patrons, customers, students, and those wanting to go to the gym. Mr. Panton said, "Living with COVID means that we will try to keep our unvaccinated children in school using regular lateral flow testing and the isolation only of those who have tested positive rather than the whole class. Lateral flow testing will be used when students return to classes after midterm break on the 25th of October. Mr. Panton also called on employers to do their part in helping the government safely reopen borders while managing COVID-19. Employers will have to do their part if we are to safely control COVID and manage it. We can't have employees feeling as if they have to choose between their job and their health or that of their children," he said. "So while we look to make practical adjustments to quarantine periods for those who are vaccinated, we can't allow COVID-positive employees to simply continue to go to work without isolation. That's not safe, not healthy or wise." Mr. Panton said the ultimate goal of safety and responsibility, reopening the country to vaccinated visitors with systems in place that would not require isolation upon arrival while minimizing the number of COVID-19 hospitalizations with no more COVID-related deaths is a balancing act. If we can develop a plan that contemplates both reopening and how to live with COVID after reopening, we'll have the best chances of avoiding any subsequent closing of borders, he said. Government will shortly roll out a cabinet approval plan that provides predictability, accountability, and transparency that can be shared with everyone. Some of the areas to be addressed included the public health system, social practices, testing and reporting, isolation regimes, vaccination levels, immigration and entry requirements, employment and labor matters, travel data and analytics, law enforcement, emergency response, and information sharing and communications. Mr. Patton said it is impossible for government to randomly pick a date for full reopening of the border because the decision needs to be based on science. It means we rely on the advice and recommendations in an updated plan, which has had the input of experts in the public service and the public health, so that we can evaluate the country's readiness to not only open, but very importantly, remain open safely without having lockdown scenarios, without having to contemplate shutting down, he said. Mr. Patton assured the public that residents and businesses in the Cayman Islands will be given at least a month's notice before fully opening the gates to Caymanian borders. Okay. And that is the end of the press release.
So that comprehensively lays out exactly what the government's vision is, how they will go about attaining that without being able to provide specifics in terms of any particular date. I mean, what this basically says that we're all in this together. We all have to work together in order for us to overcome the pandemic and to get us back to some semblance of normalcy here in the Cayman Islands. Not an easy task.
Well, what the press release is trying to do, but what Mr. Patton is trying to do, our Premier is trying to do, and his cabinet and his government is trying to do, it's to try to strike a balance between material wealth as against the national health. Mm-hmm. That is what it seems to me. He's trying to strike that balance. He understands that people have to carry on their businesses and through employment and through their businesses, but he also has to keep the country, the country wealth healthy. And so it seems to me that what he's trying to do by this press release is trying to strike a coherent balance between the material wealth as against the national health. And I applaud him for trying to strike that balance. It's what we have to do if we want to succeed.
Okay. Now I see here where Norma Connolly in the Caymanian Compass has written an article, mandatory vaccines. Want to go through what she has written in relation to this. Has to do with the bills that went to Parliament earlier this week as well. Paul, what we'll do is we'll take the commercial break now. Do we have any callers on hold? No callers on hold, so we'll take the commercial break and we'll share this when we return. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Are you feeling sick but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough, and sore throat to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay.
No one can stop me when I taste the beer.
Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
You can now renew your driver's license or motor vehicle license online. And you don't need an ESID number. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Visit www.dvdl.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Okay, we have one caller on hold, and I have a few WhatsApp messages that have been sitting for a little while, so I want to cover those as well. We'll take the caller in just a minute. One listener said that they had just tuned in and they didn't catch what appointments or what boards you had been appointed to, and if you could please repeat those. And while you're at that, another listener wanted to know if you could explain to them or to our audience how do they go about starting their own association, which would be Caymanians for Caymanians in Cayman.
Yes. Well, I have had the privilege and the honor to be appointed as the chairman of the Permanent Residence and Caymanian Status Board. I have also have the honor and the privilege to be appointed by the PAC government as the chairman of the Planning Appeals Tribunal. That is the tribunal that hears appeals from the planning board decisions. I am a chairman of that, and I'm also the chairman of the Permanent Residence and the Caymanian Status Board. That's what they have asked me to do, and which I accepted and are willing to serve in those two capacities. As far as the association is concerned, yes, they can go to any lawyer or maybe they go to an illegal person and they can start a nonprofit or an association, a proper organization. They've had them in America, and they had them all over. I remember one movement in America that helped people from the ghettos and people who were underprivileged. Mm-hmm. It was called Operation Head Start. Mm-hmm. You probably remember that. Yeah, and it's not easy. It had
to do with preschooling as well. Providing preschooling for underprivileged kids. Yes,
underprivileged kids, and it's not hard to do. They can find some lawyer or some lay person and set out their memorandum of articles of association and their bylaws, and they can get started if that's what they want to do. But I think that is probably they have probably sent that WhatsApp message in reference to the association that I understand some expatriate work permit holders have now started. And I don't think that would be a great thing to have all these rival associations based on emotions and so forth.
Well, unfortunately, if you follow social media and other platforms, you're finding that it's becoming an us and them situation, and that is
not what we want.
That is unfortunate, yes. And there's so many individuals, that are fueling that fire. It's unfortunate as well. Let's grab the callers. So our first caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, George here. Dr. McPhail, congratulations on your appointment.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Just a little short rumble, but I think from it will come a question in short order. There's this. I mean, we're living in very confusing times in terms of facts. I mean, nobody checks anything anymore, and everybody wants this irrational freedom of choice. There's this push, recently about, we want the freedom of choice. We want to be able to take different drugs for COVID-19. One of them was the ivermectin. Now, there was a story breaking yesterday on BBC about the recent test on the ivermectin, which is, of course, as you know, is used to treat parasites in animals and humans, but certainly it was tested now for its effect on COVID-19, and it has proven that it's absolutely useless for that. And other drugs as well. What I'm using as my preamble is that all of these freedom of choice drugs that people would like, they should be, in order for it to meet certain protocols, they should be tested by the FDA to see whether it is effective on COVID-19, because that's the pandemic that we have that we are facing. My question that I will leave then with you all is based on what my little ramble was just there, is do you think that the maddening crowd out there, let's say we were to open up and say, okay, take whatever drug you want, take ivermectin if you want, take whatever. Do you think if people were to start taking ivermectin and different drugs that they say they want the freedom of choice, because if they got that freedom, then the vaccination rate will go up? Do you think of course, it has been proven in the same study that ivermectin has been killing people that have been taking it for this COVID, because it doesn't help them at all. Do you think that if people were to take different drugs, including ivermectin, and then they were to die, do you think that the maddening crowd, or they will say, but you know what, he's to blame for that because he took ivermectin, he didn't take the right drug? No, the people out there will say, I'm not taking no drug at all because they're just killing us. So by taking drugs that are not proven to treat COVID, you are even making the resistance level against taking vaccinations even stronger. And so my little argument is that whatever drugs we take, we have a pandemic, we have a health crisis, and whatever drugs we take must be FDA approved to fight and to mitigate the effects of COVID-19.
So
and
true.
It can't be no freedom of choice where you can take whatever drug you want, because some doctor says, well, ivermectin has been proven. It has not been proven. It's been proven to kill people. But what I'm saying, if you allow this freedom of choice, you will soon get a scenario there where people will not take the drug at all, whether it'll be the one that has been proven effective, the one that we've taken here, or the others that are proven to be effective against COVID. They will take none of them, because all of these false ones will then eradicate whatever positive influence the good drugs is actually having fighting this pandemic.
Point taken. Caller.
So, caller, let me ask you. Let me leave you with this question then.
Yeah.
If a drug is known or proven, scientifically proven to be bad for people, and I will go on to say if it killed people, destroyed people's lives, do you think that the government then should have the option to prohibit it?
Of course, they should. Well, you have certain drugs that have been tested for certain things. The ivermectin is a parasitic drug. It is not. What I'm saying, if you're going to be saying, well, I want to have my doctor's ability to go to my private doctor and take a vaccination for COVID, whatever drug he's prescribing must be tested to be effective against that specific virus, which in this case we're trying to fight COVID-19.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, caller, for that. We're going to grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hey, morning, Mr. Lucy. Morning to Dr. Steve.
Morning.
Good morning, sir.
Dominique here in Bank. I just want to congratulate Dr. Steve on his position to those two boards. Obviously, hearing that was certainly good news to take into the weekend. Having a Caymanian who has been fighting for Caymanians for many years, I can say Dr. Steve has been, and having him there, I personally feel confident that he will be looking out for us Caymanians going forward as to how this country is, because, like yourselves, I was born here when Caymanians were basically the majority, and now I'm not even sure if we're 49% or 40%.
Yes.
This is a migration change, and the immigration system has caused a lot of what we see happening to Cayman today. The development, the unrest that we see, just protesting. Most of them down there, I took a drive-by and I looked on their Facebook, and I could, not discriminating, but I could see a lot of those people were not just Caymanians, a number of them were foreign people too. So now they're dictating, our government policies and how we live here in Cayman. And obviously, I'm not saying that they ran away from their countries, but obviously they left their country to come here, a better place, and now they're dictating for it to have certain things that they have left behind from where they come from. And of course, like I said, I'm not going to stay too long. I just want to congratulate Dr. Steve on that position to those two boards, and we look forward to some great changes from you, Dr. Steve.
Thank you very much. And I would just like to say that I am so happy to work with the government, for the government. In my personally, the government, the elected government, they were elected to protect the Caymanian people rights and to protect them, and to also protect the rights of people who come into our borders, who are legitimately into our borders. And it seems to me that I just cannot believe what some of the things that I've seen happening over the last week. Everywhere that you go, national people have the right to make conditions of how you enter their country and so forth. And that is what I will be carrying out. I will be carrying out the policy of the government, the policy of the Caymanian people, and I will also be respecting the rights of other people who come into our jurisdictions.
Certainly. Thank you very much for that. The caller, I want to thank you very much for that as well.
Have a wonderful weekend for yourself, Steve. And God willing, next week we'll get back to talking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care. One of our listeners has written in and said, just to let the caller who traveled from Florida know, there is an easy way in which all of her medical records relating to COVID-19 can be verified. It goes on to say the Department of Health in Florida has created an app called Healthy Together. Says this app allows you to book COVID-19 tests and vaccines. Once taken, the results of the tests and the vaccine will upload for viewing through the app. Regardless of where you have a test or vaccine taken in Florida, the information is uploaded to the Florida Department of Health. Therefore, it will be available on the app. Person says, I have traveled to Florida twice and used this app to show the Cayman authorities proof of tests, etc. Well, again, unless we put this where the public, if this is what authorities in Cayman are accepting here, unless we put that out there and put it on, as part of our information that says, that we will accept this, or here is how you can go about doing it, then it's very difficult for people to know. People sort of have to personally navigate all of these, through all of these issues themselves as well. So we have a caller on hold. We've reached the headline news at 9 o'clock. Paul will take the headline news, then take the caller when we return. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's spread the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
89.9 Radio Cayman helps you to weather the storm during this hurricane season.
One of the most crucial elements of hurricane preparedness is storm awareness. During the season, it is of utmost importance to pay attention to the latest local weather forecasts, as hurricanes do not suddenly form or strike. There are various methods of advanced notification. Utilizing such may be the difference between a favorable outcome and disaster. Both television and radio serve as excellent mediums with up-to-the-minute storm path information in the wake of a hurricane. Another method of tracking a hurricane may be only arm's length away. Your smartphone or tablet can be your most valuable tool before, during, and after a storm, providing countless numbers of apps with crucial hurricane information. Many apps allow you to track storms with moving radar and satellite imagery, plus offer alerts, current conditions, forecasts, advisories, and even video.
This hurricane preparedness tip was brought to you by your community radio station, Radio Cayman 89.9 FM.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
Government reported the results of 731 COVID-19 tests on Thursday. 9 came back positive. Of those, 5 are attributed to community spread, and 5 are in patients who are unvaccinated. There are 132 active cases, 62 are symptomatic, and 2 people are in the hospital, including a child. Journalists Maria Ressa and Dmitry Muratov have won the Nobel Peace Prize for their fights to defend freedom of expression in the Philippines and Russia. The Nobel Committee called the pair, quote, representatives of all journalists who stand up for this ideal. They were chosen out of 329 candidates. Some Texas abortion clinics have reopened amid fears that a legal ruling which halted the state's near-total abortion ban may be short-lived. Other clinics have reported that concerns over lawsuits have prevented them from reopening. On Wednesday, a U.S. judge temporarily blocked the new law, which effectively bans women from having an abortion. Texas officials appealed the ruling, setting the stage for further court battles in the coming months. Those are your headlines. I'm Karsley Fuller.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning none other than Dr. Steve Macfield. One caller on hold, Paul. Let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning, Mr. Connor, and good morning to your panel.
Good morning.
I also want to give my congratulations to you, Dr. Steve.
Thank you, ma'am.
Remember, every time I see you, I always shake your hand, tell you should be on many boards.
Thank you.
So I am very, very pleased to see and hear that you have been appointed to a couple of them. Should have been a few more. But anyway, we will take what we can get, right?
Thank you.
I know that you will represent us well, and I appreciate knowing that you are there. It makes you sleep a little better knowing that we have people of your mindset looking after us Caymanians on those boards. So you have a wonderful weekend. God bless you all.
Thank you, ma'am, and God bless you too.
Thank you. Thank you very much. By the way, Billy, I'm sure he's still listening over there in Canada. One listener said that they wanted to see how they can get Billy's contact number. The person says that they feel that he's an advocate for public good. They go on to say that there are several topics that they would like to discuss with Billy if possible. They say he's a pit bull and definitely not a quitter. He says he could become the Caribbean's version of Ralph Nader, and of course you know Ralph Nader. He was the one that took the what was it? They called the Corvair motor car. Unsafe at any speed. Unsafe at any speed was the.
And do you remember? I had one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I drove from Toronto to Vancouver back in 1968. I think it was. Yeah. It took me 8 days to get from, and I went there in December. in the month of December. It took me 8 days to get from Toronto to Vancouver in my Corvair. The Corvair was built by General Motors to rival the Volkswagen. It had the engine in the back and the trunk in the front, and it was so unsafe that every time, especially in the winter time, you could not drive safely on the ice with it or in snow with it. It would always give some problems. It was the most unsafe car. I had one of those. So to Mr. Billy also, Mr. Billy wanted to know what could he do.
Oh yes.
When the judge was reluctant to give him a judgment in time, and orderly and in time, and I would suggest to Mr. Billy maybe he should make a formal complaint to the Judicial Service Commission. He should go there and see what results that he can obtain from them, and if he doesn't get any results there, maybe he should make a complaint to where the judge was called in England or wherever he was called, wherever he was appointed as an advocate, and then I don't know if people follow the things that I did, but when I was at the University of British Columbia, I was the only black person in the faculty, in a law student at the faculty. I got into it as the first black student, and I had 2 Native Indian friends who were not able to get in the faculty because they could not pass the LSAT test, the law school admissions test.
Okay.
That was hard for them to pass because it's mostly a cultural test. And what I did to support them is after I got in that year, and I waited until that year's graduation, and I picketed the graduation to say, and I had my placard saying that the University of British Columbia Law School discriminates against Native people, and within half an hour, most all the TV cameras were on me, and I went live all over Canada, and people were asking me why was I doing that, and I was saying because it was discriminatory against the Indian students, and there were no Indian students in the faculty, and the next year they admitted to Indian people. So sometimes you have to protest the unorthodox way to get things done. That's what I did, and I don't have any affairs for doing that if I have to do that again.
Sure, definitely. So I'm sure that Billy is listening to that. Paul, do we have a voice note as well? Do we? Oh, okay. Nothing on that voice note. Oh, we do have a caller though. Let's go to the phone lines then. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, OC. This is Ann Kirchman.
Good morning, Miss Ann. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I just want to say that today's my dad's birthday, Frank Conley.
Yes, ma'am. We gave him a big shout out.
Yes.
Yep.
And I would like to give him a big shout out. He's an awesome dad.
Yes, ma'am. Yep. We did give him a shout out earlier, and Dr. McPhee was talking about the fact that he was one of the first Caymanian hotel managers also.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he was.
Yes. How is he doing?
He's doing very good, thank you. He's getting ready to get up on his porch and sit down to wave everybody goodbye.
I remember the Sunday mornings whenever I crossed there, he would always be out there. He and your mom, yes.
Yes.
And
thank you all very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And he keeps young like me. He's always has a young face, and I see he's one of the people that I said to myself, when I get old, I want to look like him too. When I was younger.
Okay, I think Miss Ann has
that left
us there. Yeah, okay. So, Doc, Caymanian Compass. I call it Caymanian Compass. It's Cayman Compass. I hope the article stays up here because, if you don't subscribe, they you only have a time frame within which you can log on there. So the article talks about the fact that Parliament this week passed 2 bills, the Customs and Border Control Amendment Bill and the Immigration Transition Amendment Bill that mandate COVID-19 vaccines for certain categories of non-Caymanians in the Cayman Islands. Here, the compass takes a quick look at what the changes entail. And the first question is, who does this impact? And it says it impacts people or persons renewing or being granted work permits, including temporary work permits. Okay. It also impacts those amending work permits to add dependents, individuals applying for a certificate for special caregivers, those applying for or renewing student visas, persons who are legally an ordinary resident in the islands for at least 8 years, including those applying for permanent residence, persons applying for residency certificates for persons of independent means, that is those who are investing at least $2 million in developed real estate, and holders of this certificate who are applying for permanent residence. It also affects surviving or former spouses of civil partners and adult dependents of holders of residency certificates for persons of independent means, or holders of certificates of permanent residence for persons of independent means who are applying for such a certificate, permanent residence, or permanent residence in their own right. It also affects those applying for certificates of direct investment which require an investment of at least $1 million in an employment generating business, and surviving or former spouses of civil partners applying for such a certificate on their own right, holders of residency certificates, substantial business presence, spouses, civil partners, and dependents of people holding residency certificates for persons of independent means or certificates of direct investment, those receiving entry permits from Cabinet as well. Then the question is asked, what if I'm arriving on island to work but haven't been able to get a vaccination in my home country yet? And they go on to say here, under the new rules, an unvaccinated person and any unvaccinated dependent must sign a declaration stating that they will complete an approved vaccination course and provide a vaccination certificate to Workforce Opportunities and Residency Cayman, Customs and Border Control within 40 days of arrival on island. Failure to do so will result in the revocation of the work permit. I'm going to interrupt there because we have some callers, so of course we give our callers priority. 3 callers on hold. We're going to take 1 caller, go to a commercial break, take the other callers after that. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning, Dr. Steve.
Good morning, ma'am.
First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to you publicly. I know I did it privately, and I kind of thought that I was late with it, so I apologize. I didn't realize it was going to be, an opportunity to do it public. Anyway, congratulations.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
I have 2 questions, and I have 1 comment, and I'll ask the 2 questions first because they are shorter. So the first one is regarding Mr. Connor. I think this might go to you. You had the I'm not sure what you call them now, but the body of people who I guess are in charge of the category that the Heroes Day Award goes to. The category that is selected.
Yeah, we had the representatives from those organizations. We had Cadet Corps. We had the Coast Guard.
Okay.
So far.
So my question is, because I know previously they had said that the form would be available online in October. Is that form already there, or it's not ready yet?
I think it should be there because the 16th of October is the deadline for applications to be received.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So that one's answered. And then the other thing the other question I have, and I don't know if either of you know the answer or if anyone listening might have the answer and call in. I was wondering what the qualifications and standards and principles and policies are regarding what and where is accepted as a quarantine location. I'm specifically speaking about in private residential areas or in residential areas in private homes that are converted into what some would call tenement yards. So if someone could respond to that clearly or call me privately and speak to me, I really appreciate that because we have a situation going on that is really, really disturbing a lot of people. And the other thing that I would comment on was one of your very first callers, the lady who had been vaccinated in Florida and then, was coming home for a visit. And when she talked about filling out this form. I know I sound like a broken record complaining about travel time, Cayman, the form, the questions, the requirements, and so on. And then you get here, and I think the former MP, former honourable opposition leader, called the show either last week or earlier this week. And I swear that he's a fly on my wall because almost verbatim.
Call, I'm going to ask you to get to the point because I'm reaching.
Almost verbatim, he repeated some of, what I've been complaining about, and that is that it's a mess. There's no communication within sections or departments or whatever, and it's very frustrating to the person who is in quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that some communication between all the departments, including public health, would be very, very helpful to the traveler, regardless of why they're coming back or coming into Cayman.
Got you.
Okay?
Thank you very much
Thank
for that. And that is something that in talking to the previous caller that she was talking about as well, that point was stressed by that caller as well, communications, letting people know exactly, what is necessary. But it also goes to show, how overwhelmed the system is in the Cayman Islands. And if we start to have, more outbreaks and then we start to have, and hopefully it doesn't happen, fatalities as well, then we will really, really see the systems that we have in place being stretched beyond their limits as well. Taking a commercial break, still 2 callers on hold. We will take your calls as soon as we return from this short commercial break.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
Radio Cayman, your #1 community station, would like to remind you that we are in the hurricane season, and in order to survive a hurricane, you need to be prepared. If officials' sources say a hurricane is imminent, please board up or shutter up windows in your home or place of business. Remember to use good lumber, as makeshift boarding may actually cause more damage. Also put strong bracing on outside doors so that they are not blown off or blown in.
This hurricane advice was brought to you by Radio Cayman, your caring community radio station.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Doc, I just want to let you know that we have a few WhatsApp messages that have come in. People just wanting to say congratulations to you on your appointment as well. When Doc returns, we're going to take the callers in the meantime. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, also. It's Billy again.
Yeah, good morning again, Billy.
I'll be very brief since this is my second call. Well, first of all, I must thank that caller who likened me to Ralph Nader. I'm so embarrassed. Although I take the comment within the spirit in which they were made, I'm very grateful. I always try to do my best.
Uh-huh.
Now, my number Cayman is good because we can give our number out in the air. My number, if you need to reach me on WhatsApp, it's 345. Call me on my Cayman number, 345-928. 2644 345-928-2644, but only on WhatsApp. So thanks very much, and I thank Dr. Steve also for his advice. I really did look at that one about going to the UK and complaining against this judge since he's from the UK. Judicial and Legal Services Commission, they've said they've got no jurisdiction. They referred me to the Chief Justice, and then the Commission has never drawn down any rules how you complain. So that one has been sort of like a dead end. But certainly the UK one, I'll follow that one up, and I'm grateful. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you very much, Billy, for that. Another caller on hold, right? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yeah, good morning, O.C.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Too bad. Want to congratulate Dr. Markfield on his...
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay. Also, O.C., I have a question for Dr. Markfield, but what I want to make a statement.
Okay.
I'll do the statement first, and then at the end I'll just ask Dr. Markfield the question. O.C., it looks as if that this government, and I got to say previous ones too, that they don't really respond to anything really that is important to anybody. I mean, it looks like some people they respond to, but some people they don't. I told you before that I was trying to find out about purchasing the property where the police station was, right? Now it looks as if like they turned it into a landfill because the last two accidents or whatever, major accidents in the back, they're out in front of the police station, and they got one covered up and they got the other one open. And I mean, it looks like it's a landfill. A cemetery is next door, and the bakery is right next door. Anybody come to the bakery, you can see the cars up inside there. Mm-hmm. I mean, what these people really thinking about, man? Mm-hmm. I mean, come on now, man. We can do better than that.
Do you know whether or not they're going to reoccupy that police station?
Pardon?
Do you know whether or not they're going to reoccupy that police station?
Reoccupy it with a landfill, looks like to me. That's all I can say at this point.
Okay.
But, it really is unsettling, I really do need to look at it, Mm-hmm. The question I have for Dr. Markfield, I would like him to explain, I mean, in, I guess, layman terms, what is the role of the ombudsman, and really find out what he or she is supposed to do, And I will leave it with that, O.C.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other caller on hold, Paul? No caller. So, Doc, over to you.
Well, the role of the ombudsman is to receive complaints about government organizations from the privates, from the citizen. He is a sort of a go-between between government organizations, government entities, and the private citizen. The private citizen is the private citizen is who actually he works for. That's what they call him, ombudsman. He works for the private citizen. He's the one. He's not a messenger, but he's a go-betweener, and he's trying to settle matters that arise between the government. And when I say the government entities, government organizations, government corporations, government companies, and the private citizen, that's what he's for. There are two kinds of ombudsman. There's also the political and a criminal ombudsman too. Like my late my late friend and colleague and associate in Jamaica, Herbert Hamilton, was a ombudsman for criminal legal matters between the government and the people. So when you have a complaint against government and you want someone to take it up for you, if you don't have any money to go to court to sue or to take out judicial review, you go to the ombudsman, and he's the one who advocates your complaint to the government or to the entity on your behalf.
Okay, and I'll share this with you, and this is coming directly from the ombudsman's office here in the Cayman Islands. They do have a website, so if you want, you can visit that website as well. And it speaks about their role, and it says we investigate complaints against about government services and police misconduct, and we decide appeals dealing with requests for government records. We also receive both public and private sector reports of personal data breaches and whistleblower disclosures, as well as deciding appeals concerning personal data misuse. What we can help you with, it goes on to say that they can help you in resolving complaints about government decisions and unfair treatment by government, investigate complaints about police misconduct, accepting protected disclosures from whistleblowers, ensuring information rights and government transparency, investigating notifications of data breaches and individual complaints about unlawful use of personal data. What do you expect? What to expect from them? They say they will be fair, independent, and impartial in all of their work. Confidentiality and privacy are of the utmost importance to them and their clients. They go on to say that your personal information will be kept safe and secure at all times. Paul, we have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Ossie.
Good morning. Good morning.
And Dr. Steve, I want to say congratulations to you. It's a long overdue.
Thank you, sir.
Ossie, I call this radio station because it's the only way that we can get our message across with what we see that is happening in this country.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of things that is happening in this country that we need to voice our opinion. We elect a government to do our work for us. All right? We can do our part by getting on this talk show and telling them what we agree with and what we disagree with. This is the only way most of the time that we can get across and speak to them, unless there's a function or a gathering that we see them out and we can have a little chat. But I am so glad that this radio station is here to provide that for us Caymanians, right? Because I don't want what is happening in this country. And, what I see that is happening in the United States right now with all of the rights that these people have. The government in that country, as far as I'm concerned, you might as well don't even have them, because they don't have any more say than anything else in that country. When the people that rule the country and don't have people in the government that can take up for you at the end of the day, it's not a good thing, right? And I don't want what is happening in the United States happen to this country, because United States, as far as I'm concerned, is gone to hell. Sad but true, right? And we get these people that is coming here that wants to tell us, what we shouldn't have and what we should have, what we shouldn't have. Well, all I gotta say to them kind of people, we know what we should have and we know what we should not have. And if you don't like what we are doing in this country, you know what? You are free to go. And I don't understand a lot of the mentality. A lot of these people need to stop and think before they get out. protesting about this and protesting about that, because the majority of them have no right to protest anything in this country that we are doing, because what we are doing in this country, we are doing it for the welfare of the people of this country and everybody else that comes here. So if they can't see it that way, then you know what I suggest, they get onto that plane, and you know what, I bet you when they get onto that plane, they're not going to tell the stewardess that they're not putting their seatbelts on. What happen to them if they don't put their seatbelts on? And you know,
yes.
They're not going to tell them also that, you know, we can smoke a cigarette and you can't stop the bucket. You know what? Try that and let me see what can happen to you. Because I know, and you gentlemen there know exactly what is going to happen to them if they don't abide by the rules.
Caller, you're breaking up. You're breaking up. Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I can leave it there.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller. Before we go to the next commercial break, I want to share this, and Doc, they've asked me to show this to you as well. It says, I'd like to ask to be able to congratulate Miss Tishay Heath on her degree in law, and also having gained first class A and honors. She has also been working with retired judges in England and was head counsel for the university that she attended. As a young Caymanian in these trying times, she did her islands Cayman proud. And so the name is Tishay Heath.
Heath?
Yeah, Tishay Heath.
Congratulations to her, and that is remarkable. That is the kind of story that I appreciate, and that I that I will promote and publish, because for too long in our country there are too many people who have told the single story about who we are and where we came from. That single story is shutting down the whole narrative and as Ezra Miller say, swabbling the truth about Caymanians. For too long that has happened to us. And not telling the full story about Cayman and Caymanians is putting us into a stereotype box. What it does is making Caymanian people uncomfortable. And everybody know that comfort is a necessary condition for some kind of justice. And so until we get to the place where our story can be told, and instead of the single narrative of stupidity and laziness and uneducated and lack of responsibility and so forth, that is the single story that has been defining us over the last, I would say, from 1970 until today. A whole community in here has been suffering from that single story, but they don't know about the valor and the bravery and the richness and the responsibility and the recovery and the resilience of the Caymanian people all through the decades. And some of them, it's the same old single story of domination and colonialism that they expect that's going to continue forever. It's not going to continue forever. Culture changes, and culture changes quite quickly, and it's changing quite quickly now. And I'm so happy that you have young people like that who can go abroad and who can carry the full story about Cayman. And I applaud the young lady for that.
The only thing is that we want them to come back, because they're the future leaders of our country as well.
I hope and I pray that this government has now is setting the platform for them to come back, so that the full story can be told, and that they can live that they can live in the light and not in the darkness, and don't have to hide, and they don't have to hide behind curtains. And make excuses for themselves of why they have to be abroad.
Yep, and control the good ship Cayman. Folks, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
We think it's time you crossed over to a new vehicle. And with the 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross now at Vamped Motors, you have plenty of reasons to make the switch. The crossover body and hybrid engine is a sleek design in a sturdy structure with a spacious interior that opens to extensive cargo space. Stuck in traffic? The high-performance self-charging hybrid system automatically switches between gas and electric vehicle mode, helping you lower both fuel costs and carbon emissions. The Corolla Cross has full LED lighting inside and out, an integrated display audio system with energy monitor, and a dual-zone climate control system to ensure comfort for all. Test drive the new 2021 Toyota Corolla Cross Hybrid today at Vant Motors, Walkers Road.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointment.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Radio Cayman News.
Expected to gather today to protest against controversial immigration bill,
of which will mandate vaccinations for certain categories of persons.
Everyone should have the benefit of human rights.
It's really about having a personal choice of what goes into your body.
We should comply for our safety.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice for today's biggest news.
Are you interested in learning more about providing great service during COVID-19? The Cayman Islands Department of Tourism invites you to sign up for a free training course, Aquila Service Excellence COVID-19 Edition. This free training will provide guidance on how to interact with customers while adhering to COVID-19 protocols. Sessions will be held every Wednesday in October. For more information and to register, head to aquila.ourcayman.ky. That's aquila.ourcayman.ky. Deadline to register is the Monday before each session.
For the record with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me this morning, Dr. Steve MacPhail. One of our listeners has written in and said, love listening to you, esteemed gentlemen, always educational program. Regarding some information about the COVID-19 pandemic, some of the literature shows that countries and places with high pollution rates have highest adverse effects from COVID-19. So maybe we need to rethink this current. We need to rethink this current overdevelopment and future development. Grand Cayman needs more green space as well. Food for thought. Yeah. Actually, this morning I was thinking, and some people are talking about downtown Georgetown
Yes.
and weekends now, how it is dead and stuff like
yes.
that. Well, maybe if it remains that way, we will get rid of some of that concrete jungle that's down there. Just, raise everything, knock everything down, and have some open space down there. Since everybody wants to go to this bay and that bay and whatever other bays. Let them go to those bays and then Hogstye Bay will revert back to us.
Yes.
So, Doc, we can talk a little bit of history. Paul, any callers on hold? One caller, okay. But I'm going to tease this one a little bit. The first phone call made from Bodden Town when telephones were established in October of 1966. If anyone is out there who can tell us where that telephone call was made from and by whom, I don't have any gifts to give you. I like the caller that called earlier, I only have my last dollar and I can't give that to you. But if you have the answer to that, where that first call was made from in Bodden Town and by whom, let us know. If not, we'll tell you who it was.
I would buy a lunch at the place where it was said.
Well, yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's grab the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Oh, they go on. Okay. So, we're talking about immigration and everything. You want to know about statistics in immigration? 1966. That would be 55 years ago. 55 years ago, immigration statistics. Tradewinds newspaper reported that a total of 754 persons had come to Grand Cayman during the month of September in 1966. And that was according to the statistics released by Chief Immigration R.S. Besant. Now, R.S. Besant was also the Commissioner of Police in the Cayman Islands. But this is the time when police and immigration were one and the same. Yes, okay. So he reported, folks, 754 persons for the month. We have more than that in quarantine in the Cayman Islands now. Much less, coming in 1 month. Say, and of those, right, 32 of this total have applied either for permanent residence here or for long-term visas. Those days we didn't even have the work permit regime was not in place yet. That was only after. It was introduced in 1965, but I'm not sure that it was in.
It didn't come into effect until in early 1970s.
Yep. So it says 15 of these were natives of Jamaica, while 3 were from the United States. 14 of the immigrants from other Caribbean ports or remote parts of the world. Goes on to say that the immigration returns showed that 355 Grand Cayman residents returned to the island last month, including 275, and they use this term then, native Caymanians. Anyway, I'll read it as it is. 275 native Caymanians, 19 Jamaicans, 29 Americans, 4 from another British colony, and 28 from other parts of the world. Says statistics also show that 795 people, 290 of them Caymanians, left the island last month. So they gave you figures of who came in and who left as well. If we could get back to those figures, it would be
overwhelming.
Yes.
We would be surprised.
Yes.
It would blow our minds, as the colloquial saying would say. It would blow us away,
and we would live in harmony.
Yes.
Let's grab the caller. Good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Good morning, caller. Welcome to For the Record.
Hi, good morning. This isn't pertaining to your conversation.
That's okay.
My grandmother would like to wish 3 special people happy birthday. One is her son.
Okay.
And the other 2 one is her brother and her sister.
Can you want to give the names as well, or
yes. So the son would be Albert Rankin, a.k.a. known as Funny, and her brother and sister would be Raymond Conley, and my Aunt Grace would be like to wish her a happy birthday from their sister and mother, Melrose Flasher.
Okay. So we wish all of them a happy birthday as well.
To all your family, and like the old people used to say, on birthdays time, I wish you could live to see many more.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, folks, 1966, October the 13th, as reported in the Tradewinds newspaper, telephone tests okay. Says the first preliminary proving test to ensure that the newly installed telephone equipment at Cable and Wireless Limited was operative were successful, it was reported. Bordentown's first telephone call was made at 11 a.m. on October the 1st, 1966, by Miss Lorna Borden from her service station. Mr. Roy Tidd, telephone engineer, received the call in Georgetown. So, first telephone call made from Bordentown, made by Miss Lorna from her gas station, October 1966. That, folks, is a part of our history. And, of course, the telephone revolutionized communications here in the Cayman Islands, a role now that social media has taken over. So we started out with our Mile Road,
yes.
Then we ended up with the telephone. Now we have social media that is in many ways creating so much division, not only in the Cayman Islands, but elsewhere as well.
Elsewhere in other jurisdictions as well.
We're going to take the last commercial break. When we return, folks, the conversation will continue, so please stay tuned.
For medical lab services in Cayman, go straight to MedLab.
For a full range of medical services, pleasant, clean and comfortable environment, no long lines and affordable fees, visit MedLab at the Smith Road Plaza. Open Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. and half day on Saturdays. Call 949-7331 to make your appointments.
For medical lab services in Cayman, MedLab.
Ask our professional team about the benefits of cutting-edge technology with MedLab's new state-of-the-art digital mammogram machine.
Had a look at those investment options yet? Too busy. Look at today. Workout, breakfast, take the kids to school, back-to-back meetings, take Pepper to the vet, and she's apparently got allergies now, so... And that was all before 12. But you look relaxed. That's because my money's as busy as you.
With RF, you can access the best in local and international investments to keep your money busy, so you can spend more time focusing on you. Contact us at rfgroup.com to find out more. RF, money at work.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orrett Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Any calls on hold, Paul? So what we will do is we will close the phone lines off for the rest of the show. I want to give Dr. Macfield an opportunity, for him to elaborate on any thing that he may want to. And one of our listeners said, Doc, says that you were definitely cheating the devil by driving around that clunker, that Corvair.
Yes,
you were cheating the devil. Yeah.
Yes. Well, for that message.
Yeah.
I was going to from Toronto, as I said, to Vancouver, and I didn't have much money. I was a student in those days, and I ran off the road 5 times, and I had to get a person. What's it? The tow truck told me back on, and every time they told me back on the road, it would cost money because you see, when you the problem with that car was that when you touch the brakes, it would spin around because the engine was in the back. All the weight was in the back. It would sort of turn on you. And when I got to a place called Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan,
heard of it?
I was traveling behind about 50 armored trucks, and they pulled off into a field on the right, and I kept going. And all of a sudden, I started to turn my radio on at the time, and it said, everybody that's on the highway, on the transnational highway, should get off immediately because there was going to be a snowstorm coming. So I didn't pay any attention to it. I kept driving, and within 15 or 20 minutes, I couldn't even see my hand in the car, driving the car, the snow. And what I did is I stopped the car on the highway and went to the other side of the road to brush the snow to see where the white line was, so that I could turn around to go back to the nearest shelter because they said we should get off the highway. And as I brushed the snow away and got back into my car to turn around, a huge trailer truck came from the opposite direction through the snow. It shook me up. For a long time, I just couldn't. I had nightmares about that that truck smashing me to pieces.
Wow.
So we went. I found a diner. on the side of the road in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, and I was there for 3 days while it snowed, and then that's another problem, Orrett. When I said to them, well, when are you going to get the snow plows out to remove the snow? They said, we don't remove the snow here, son. We just, everybody here uses toboggans and snowmobiles in the wintertime. So I had to get a wrecker to come there to heat my car up to get this, so I could get it started. And then when I got to Calgary, then I had to go through the pass. I had no snow tires.
Wow.
And I had to go back to Winnipeg, to Calgary, Winnipeg. And somebody put some studs in my wheels of it. And it took me twice as much time to get through the pass, to get down from one side of Canada to the other side through the mountains to get down to British Columbia. And when I saw the water trickling through the ice on the other side of the mountains, I knew it was in BC, where it was much colder. And I put that car up. I got rid of that car, Orrett, and I never drove a car like that again. So everybody said that I was lucky, and I went back to Toronto because I was at Atkinson College at the time. I've been back to Toronto. I went back to Toronto on the train instead of driving.
Okay.
So, it was cheating.
Yep.
Yes.
So we know that National Heroes Day and the nomination process, and we will be celebrating our uniform branches. These are two families that were prominent in the police service. The Anderson family and the Nixon family. So in this article, again, October 1966, there is a photograph, and there was a traffic safety campaign that they had in Cayman, because in the 60s and stuff, first getting cars, a lot of people, it's like now where everyone can get the deportee car from Taiwan or whatever, and that's why we have so many on the road, because they're relatively cheap. I'm not saying that cars were cheap in Cayman at that point in time, but more people had disposable income as a result of money being
coming in.
Yeah, the early days, you were proud to have a bicycle, and from Mr. Ashford Panner to ride when you came home from sea.
But look at the difference now. In the early days, money was coming in. Today, money is going out.
That's true too.
Money's going out.
So more people could afford cars, and there were lots of accidents on the roads of the Cayman Islands. Remember, first of all, they weren't blacktop, they weren't asphalt, and the lanes weren't designated. It was basically one road. Sometimes you'd have to slow down to let the other cars cross you.
Yes.
So here's a photograph of Police Inspector Mr. Carly A. Nixon and Constable R. Anderson, that would be Royal Anderson,
from Boddentown,
are shown erecting a reduced speed now warning sign on West Bay Road that week. Says the distinctive red painted sign mounted on a black and white striped pole is to warn drivers that a 25 mile per hour zone is directly ahead. I figured that, I don't know if this may have been around Holman Corner or whatever, because there was a lot of accidents around Holman Corner, for those of you who know about Holman Corner. If not, it's what's the name of the condominiums that are Christopher Columbus?
Yes, but
right where they are.
Remember then, Orrett, that in those days there were no paved roads.
No, they weren't.
So it was mile roads.
Yeah.
And 25 miles an hour speed limit to get to West Bay was not something that was out of the ordinary. And because remember, kids, people who went to sea and came back and brought their cars, they were driving them at 75, 80 miles an hour, because they didn't believe that that cars could kill them, and that there was and you know, and the thing was though, how much liquor you could drink and how fast you could drive your car. Yeah. Because I remember when someone told me that one time a guy called Alvin Powell I was coming from North Church Street and took the corner there on Mary Street and North Church Street where Miss Hilton's house was, Mr. Bonner's Russell house was, and Mrs. O'Brien at 75 miles an hour.
Wow.
You heard about that, and he had an accident, and I think he has the longest disqualification ever. 25 years disqualification. Yeah. And remember now, it was only 3 years before this article that we got. It was mandated to have insurance on your car because insurance only came in 1963.
Yeah, and they were fighting that as well. Yes, in the legislature, they were fighting the whole issue of insurance as well. Yeah, yes. So, and this article goes on to talk about more about road safety. It says in keeping with the traffic program, several signs have been installed about the island to aid the driving public. To reduce speed now signs were installed last Friday in West Bay Road to warn drivers. An officer was assigned to traffic duty that the month before that, and the police department's motorcycle to enforce traffic regulations and to control speed offenses. It says that the motorcycle had been out of commission for some time, but it was being used to good advantage now. And then they talk about the fact that a booklet had been published to produce driving test in the Cayman Islands and how it affects you. That would be on sale at police headquarters. The booklet was written by former Chief of Police Sanders Sherwood. Remember Sherwood?
Yes.
Owned the what was the name of the bar and restaurant out in the waterfront there?
The Cayman Arms.
Cayman Arms. Yes. And it was designed primarily to aid applicants for a driver's license. Goes on to talk about the fact that Sherwood, who was a highly qualified for the position, was appointed as the government's driving test examiner. Tradewinds say that they learned that the driver's examination would be conducted by appointments every Thursday afternoon. They wouldn't take any more than 8 applicants per week for a driving test. Yes. Now we get them probably 8 per minute.
Yes.
And it says, although the new tests will be made by Mr. Sherwood personally, the charges for licensing will remain the same. So, folks, that's a part of Cayman in 1966. Some would like to go back to those days. Unfortunately, we won't. But if we knock down some of the concrete jungle that we have rather than redeveloping it, we will get a little closer, a little bit closer to the way we were. And Doc, over to you.
And there are also the cases about Sherwood with the Pantons family.
Oh, okay, didn't know that one.
Oh, yes, there are cases in the Court of Appeal in Jamaica, and that brings me. There's something about the Panton leadership in the country that's just, it seems to be so coincidental that the Panton leadership evokes such grievances with people in the country. Sherwood had a grievance against Mr. Ormond Panton and his father, Mr. Ashwood, and he seized the truck off the docks and so forth, and it was a whole lot of problems with them, and not only with Sherwood but with other people, the judges, and the commissioner who arrested Mr. Ormond Panton, and then it's acted as judge in the trial and all that sort of stuff, and all the breach of natural justice cases that he had to bring to get justice in Jamaica in those days in the 1960s, and around the same time that you were talking about. It seems to me that the same sort of thing is happening now. Now, there is a movement in the country that I would call the Caymanianism. It is a group of Caymanians who are making political statements, and they're making political statements in the terms that it's about owning their own narrative, their own Caymanian story. They're telling their own story, their own country's journey through the ages. They're not interested in preserving the old stereotype of what Caymanis and Caymanians are. It is one of a deep phenomena, and that defines the journey in which Cayman has to travel, and the differences and the challenges and that they had to bear in getting to where they are now. Although they are grateful for having traveled so far, and that they can sleep peacefully at night in their homes now, their elegant homes now. There was one time when that was not so. And I would just like to leave with your readers this what I think. This is personal what I think. I say there's something that many people do not understand, still do not understand, and that is that abuse of a people do not always end with the physical. It goes deeper than abuse goes deeper than the physical. It leaves scars on people, like the many scars that we have seen on our environment now. It leaves a lot of scars on some Caymanian people now, and Caymanian people have been a resilient people, and the old stereotypes that people had of Caymanians are fading away, and like I say, it's culture changes, and culture now changes in this modern world quickly than it ever did before.
Okay, Doc, I want to thank you very much for being here today. I just want to say that one listener sent a WhatsApp message that's really personal, but it's also concerning. And I am not going to share it on air. I'm going to try to contact that person because it's important for them to be steered in the right direction and to have to feel that their concerns are being addressed as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring